Hey there, it's Wednesday again and welcome to today's episode with... Hey there, it's another Wednesday and welcome to another episode of GOOFS with Afodel. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about another movie that I love so much. If I don't love the movie, I won't watch it over and over again. So all these movies that I'm spotting the GOOFS in are movies that I've actually watched over and over again, meaning they are movies that I love so much. So let's just delve right into today's episode. Before we move on, I'd just like you to know that I don't own rights to any of the clips that I'm using from the movies. I don't own rights whatsoever. If you're new here, just hit on the subscribe button and then click on the bell icon so that when I drop another video, you'll be the first to see it. So let's just delve right in today's episode. Okay, so in today's episode, we're going to be looking at a very interesting movie. The title of the movie is Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. So Jumanji stars Karen Gillian, Kevin Hart, this wrestler, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and a host of others. So we are not here to review the movie, as you already know. We are just spotting the GOOFS. And today I wouldn't waste much of your time. I'll just go straight into the GOOFS. I listed a couple of GOOFS over here. So let's just start with the first one. Just about a few minutes into the film, look at this scene carefully. Look at the light position in this shot real carefully. And then see. And the position changes once they change shot. Whoever was in charge of continuity, again, my continuity people, please. Continuity is very key in film. That's why you are employed. That is why they don't just leave the film to roll. That is why you are brought to get on board as a continuity person, because these films cannot be shot in a single day. That is why they employ somebody to take care of these little details. And so if you've been employed to work on this job and you can't keep the position of a light straight, then I don't see why you are there. So the next thing I noticed was the scene where Spencer was giving the homework to... Now, they could have given the homework to him anywhere, but for the sake of exposition and foreshadowing, they decided to give it to them at this particular house. Now, when Spencer was talking, the old man came out and was talking to Spencer, there was no scarf on the old man's neck. But during shots, you do realize that a red scarf automatically appears on the neck. Let's look at the shot carefully. So in this shot, you realize that there is no scarf or whatsoever. Alright? And then they go to the wide shot and you see the scarf over there. Red scarf. Come on. And I think this particular one, they could have been saved by the editor. So if the editor had seen, say, there's a scarf in this shot and there's no scarf in the close-up, and I open with a close-up, then maybe I'll maintain the close-up anytime the man is talking, so that the viewer or someone like me wouldn't notice the change in the scarf. But was it necessary for them to give a wide shot? Now the wide shot revealed their mistake. So this is the fault of the continuity person, the editor, and the actor. The actor, you coming on set, make a conscious effort that this is the costume I'm shooting up with. This is the costume I'm shooting with. No matter what, I have to be sure that... But once again, he's an old man. He may have forgotten that he didn't have any scarf, in this shot. And then he brought the scarf the next day on set. Now that is where the continuity person comes in, who might have taken still pictures of whatever he was wearing previously to know, say, okay, you weren't wearing this, so now wear from this scarf and all that. And then this... Now, now that a continuity person too has overlooked it, now it's the job of the editor to make sure that you don't introduce this shot into it for some of us to notice it. So you could have just played with a close-up throughout the shot, because there was a short scene that could have just gone by without having to go on a wide shot. Anyway, let's move on. So Bethany's phone in this scene, when she enters the gym, and they go like, you are late again. Now, Bethany was holding a phone. And then subsequently, when the shot was going on, they just changed shots and the phone magically disappeared. Take a look at this. So Bethany entered with a phone, and then the next shot the phone was gone. Where did it pass? Okay, probably the phone fell down while she was running. She just left the phone on the floor and ran. Okay, now we go to another shot, a wider shot in the same scene at the same time, and the phone that was gone magically appeared again. Look, I mean, come on, Jake. I love Jake very much. Jake is a very good filmmaker and I love him so much. And when I realized that Jake directed Jumanji, I was excited about this movie, and that is why I watched it. And seeing things like this, I mean, the other crew members could have helped Jake save the movie. Let's move on. Okay, so when the students, Spencer Dems, were being punished, and they were sent to the room where they were supposed to take the samples out of the paper that was going to be recycled. Okay, first of all, you could recycle a paper without having to take all those, but anyway, maybe because it was a punishment, it made sense. Okay, that's not the goof. The goof is where Spencer found the game and he was bringing it to the people. You realize that the game, the console, the controller on the console was just 2. And then when it got there and they were about to play the game, the controller has magically multiplied itself to 4. I mean, come on. Right, let's move on to the next thing. Now, there were leaves on the jeep. When they went to the jungle, there were some leaves on a jeep that they were driving, and the leaves magically disappears from shot to shot. The leaves come in one shot, disappears in another shot, comes again in another shot, disappears again in another shot, and this was going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Take a very close look at, you see the leaves over there. The next shot, it's gone.
You don't know why it's going on.
How? I mean, how? Let's move on. So again, in the jungle, we all know that the jungle was probably filmed on a green screen like this. Alright, so now whoever was in charge of editing or post-production, the post-production team, weren't consistent with the background in the jungle. Now you see this scene, look carefully at the background over there. In this shot, look at how the background looked like. And then when it goes to another shot, the background magically changes. That same shot, just a different angle, changes the background. Let's move on. There was another thing I noticed with the ceiling where Kevin Hart had eaten the cake and then he died and reappeared, gained another life. When he got down from the ceiling had changed. The lines in the ceiling, where Kevin Hart fell, they took a shot of the lines in the ceiling and you could see that there was nothing hanging there. Now they come back to another shot and there were stuff hanging on that same ceiling. Again, I ask, why? How? How did it just appear over there? Continuity. Paying attention to details. That is why you've been employed, to pay attention to details. Let's move on. That same scene, when Kevin Hart fell down, there was this rack he fell into, a wooden rack. Now, in one shot, you could see that the wooden rack is almost dismantled and almost, spoiling. Alright? Then they go to a wider shot, and the wooden rack automatically has fixed itself. That same shot, that same day, in just 5 seconds. Take a look at it. That's all for today's episode, and this is how far time has brought us. I wouldn't want to waste your data again, and I know Jay Gabriel will say it's his data. Shout out to Jay Gabriel, man, and shout out to everybody pushing this GOOFS with Afodel. Shout out to Foster Romanos and everybody pushing this. So if you are new here, hit on the subscribe button again, bell icon. If you found this interesting, share the link to someone to also see it. And if there's any other goof you saw in Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle that I didn't talk about, you can leave it on the comment section below. And then also, if there's another movie you want me to check out to bring you the goof, just leave the title of the movie in the comment section below. I'll see you again same time next week, Wednesday. Please remember to follow me on all my other social media platforms: Instagram The Crew, Facebook The Crew Films, and over here Afodel. And I'll see you again, same time next week. Stay safe, stay home, protect yourself, wash your hands, sanitize your hands, and it's bye for now.